What's up, guys? I think I've got a pretty cool little tour for you today. Now, this is not going to be a sailboat, so I apologize in advance for those of you who might not be interested in the boat because it doesn't have sails on it, but this is going to be a 45-foot by 12-foot steel canal barge. This is the first non-sailing vessel to be featured on this channel, and that's simply because our interests basically lie in sailboats, but I did find this boat really cool, so I figured why not branch out a little bit and film a tour of a canal barge. Now, like some of the boats that we do tour on this channel, this is going to be an abandoned project. So the story behind this boat is that the previous owner built it up from scratch to the point at which it is today. He was an engineer, so everything was really, really well done. And unfortunately, he passed away before he could finish it or put it in the water. So it's never been in the water. It's never been complete. So essentially, it's an opportunity for someone to finish the project. Now, before I show you the tour, I just wanted to quickly remind you guys, as always, to hit that subscribe button down here if you enjoy these videos. It definitely helps us a lot, and thank you in advance. Also, if you're not interested in boats that aren't sailboats, don't worry. The next one will definitely be a sailboat, and we're still going to be focusing on sailboats. I just thought that this would be a cool type of boat to try. Let's get to the tour. This is a full steel canal barge. Looks like there's some primer on the outside, but we do have a little bit of surface corrosion coming through, no big deal. This is steel, that's what steel does. Very normal. We've even got a bow thruster in the front. I believe there's stern thrusters. We're on what looks to be a quintuple axle trailer. This is a 12-foot wide boat, so this is going to be an over dimension boat to go over the highway, so you're going to need a wide load permit. Those windows are just temporary, just so bugs and birds and stuff doesn't get in. And now we're at the stern of this boat, and I'm going to go up that ladder. Got the rudder, shaft log, and then I believe, yep, stern thruster as well. Balanced stern thrusters, certainly very helpful for a boat like this. I just wanted to take a look at the starboard side real quick before I went up. And again, 5-axle trailer. Let's go up the ladder. All right. So we've got the cockpit right here. This is going to be your helm station. Nice big cockpit. Do have a little bit more corrosion here. We've got what looks to be a removable cover. I mean, this is just cool, you know. I'm not a canal boat person, but I can definitely see living on one of these. This might actually be bigger than our current house right now. So before we go down below, down there, let's show you guys what the top deck has to offer. So you can walk around it. You've got about 8 inches of room there, so you can walk all the way around, but you do have some steps right here to go up onto the top deck. And this deck has been reinforced in order to be able to put a small car up here. So I believe the idea was to be able to put a Jeep on the deck up here. So lots of space up here. And there's your bow. You can step down here. That's your bow locker, which we're going to look at from down below. Taking a look at the whole boat from the bow. definitely interesting. Got some handrails. Got a place for navigation lights. Like they were definitely thinking of it all. Obviously the idea is to have stanchions up here, some kind of guardrail. It's not in yet, but that was definitely the plan, it looks like. You've got some cleats as well. This is just a massive amount of deck space. I mean, turn it back around. You know, if you're not putting a Jeep up here, it's a massive amount of deck space, but you could put a Jeep up here. And then let's look back into the cockpit. Engine compartment's down there. We're going to do that last. Let's go inside. Going down in this 45-foot canal barge. This is awesome. I feel like I am in a tank right now. I mean, this is very, very cool. Massive amount of space. It's a complete blank slate down here. I mean, you could do anything with this. Here you can see the construction. This is so cool. So as you can see, you know, there's the rims for port lights, but there's no actual glass in them yet. This is just a really, really cool boat. There's that ceiling that's, you know, got really, really thick steel reinforcements there. I'm going to stand in the middle of the boat and I'm just going to do a 360. So cool. So I don't know, I think that could be a good little main saloon area with, you know, an attached galley, so main saloon and galley, kind of like a great room. And then going forward of that, you would have, you know, you could probably do 2 large cabins and 2 heads as well. That's probably what I would do. 2 cabin, 2 head, lay out here with a large, you know, great room over there. Or maybe you'd split it up. I mean, there's so many things you can do. Maybe you do a cabin out in the aft, and then in the middle you do the great room saloon area with the galley, and then in the forward section you do a main ensuite, right? And you have it split up. I mean, there's just lots of space, lots of room in this boat. Alrighty, and lastly, we are gonna go down below into the engine compartment of this canal barge. You get to it from right here. This is pretty cool. This is a big engine room. We've got our rudder shaft right there. We've got the stern thruster tube right there. Battery boxes are gonna go over there. Engine mounts are gonna be right below this ladder. We've got a sea chest for our sea cocks right there. Let's look at the port side. Looks like exhaust outlets right there. And I do believe the engine does come with this boat. It's just obviously not installed yet. Got the cockpit drains installed. Very cool, very big engine compartment.
And then here's me in the engine compartment for scale. Pretty big.
So you guys know I normally do a full continuous below decks walkthrough from bow to stern on every boat that I tour, but this boat is a little bit different. As you can see, you can pretty much see every section of the interior of this boat from one spot, and right now I'm just giving you guys a reference. I'm 5'11", so you can see, you know, how big the boat is, how much headroom I have. You know, I'm a pretty average sized guy, so how much space there actually is in this boat. It's hard to tell on film, but when you get a reference point like a person standing in it, it gives you a better sense of scale. This is definitely a lot of space, and it's a huge blank slate. So that's it, guys. That's the Project Canal Barge. Alright guys, so that was just a quick little tour of this vessel. I certainly thought it was really cool, and it's definitely a blank slate to be basically finished to your desire. I think that for the right price, this would be an awesome project to take on for someone that wants to essentially build a home on the water and live off grid. This is definitely not a boat to take across oceans. This is one for nearshore and inshore waters only, and it was designed that way. It's essentially a big, strong houseboat, and it's got a lot of interior volume, and you know, it would be a really, really spacious boat to live on. I love the fact that you have all that interior space as well as all that deck space on top. It really reminded me of like a double-decker bus, and that adds a lot of space to live in. Now personally, what I would do, and I know this is not what everybody might want to do with this boat, but what I think I would do is, instead of having that deck space up top be a living area, I would essentially make that all solar. So I basically pack as much solar panels as I possibly can on that top deck, and I would put an electric motor inside the boat. So I wouldn't go with diesel, I would go with electric, and I think that this boat would actually be a really good boat for it because you can put so much solar on the roof. It would be a complete off-grid boat. You would never need any type of fossil fuel on that boat whatsoever. You'd have more than enough energy than you possibly could ever want and need. With the electric motor and the solar panels and staying in inland waters, you could probably go long distances, but at slower speeds than some of you might be used to, but who cares? You've got a really comfortable, essentially houseboat to be on while you're traveling. Obviously, there's a lot of possibilities for this blank slate of a boat. You don't have to go with what I would do with it. I mean, that's what's really awesome about this boat, is you can really finish it any way you want. I think this would be an awesome boat to do the Great Loop with, as well as to explore other inshore waterways. So anyway, that's about all I have to say. I thought that this was a cool boat. The tour wasn't very long, I know, but there wasn't really much to look at because it's basically, you know, it's an empty hull. But I still thought it was really cool, and I hope you guys did too. If you want more information on this boat, the owner's contact information as well as the current asking price is going to be in the description below. I do believe he's trying to sell the engine and generator with it as well. I do want to put a disclaimer. I have no idea if the asking price is overpriced, underpriced, if it's priced right. I'm just being honest. I don't know what these types of boats go for, but I do imagine that a large steel ship like this, you know, even in just the steel, that's a lot of money. So it doesn't seem like a bad price to me, but that's up to you guys to decide. I just thought it was a cool boat that you guys might want to see. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell if you want to know each and every time we drop a video. See you guys.
I've got it right.